This is part 2 of a 2-part episode of A Therapeutic Dose. Make sure you listen to part 1 before you listen to this one. Thanks.
Speaking
Holy
of
crap.
crazy, let's go to Kyle's party that starts with a mini pony jumping out of a PT cruiser. What is happening? Right away, I was like...
I didn't grok the PT cruiser. I just saw the horse. Oh, my God.
It was a miniature pony that hopped out of a PT cruiser that was painted with flames on the side.
Oh,
I was
of
like,
course
Kyle, what are you doing? Is that the way to transport a mini pony?
Again, LVP.
Yeah, I know.
LVP,
Real
mini horse
whispers
first.
of that everywhere, yeah.
Right?
And just one mini horse was like, why? What a weird choice, okay?
She's so annoying.
Yes, she is.
She says that the cowboy hat is her crown. God,
Barf,
just
barf,
make my
barf,
skin
barf.
crawl. And then Dorit says something that made me just like all my goodwill just went flying out that window. And she's like, I pulled my outfit from my vintage collection. And I was just like spraining my eyes from rolling them so hard and groaning so loud that my throat is raspy. So fucking A. Just come on,
Why?
Dorit, because she's so annoying.
It is annoying. Okay, but
She's
those
so
are real
annoying.
vintage clothes, right?
Yes, and I want to say...
this is where I don't know if she was trying to pull a fast one on an idiot like me.
I mean, listen,
or
vintage
if
is
it's
considered
just
anything
annoying.
that's 20 years older. So
Yes.
if those pants are from the early 2000s, then yes, technically they're vintage.
Oh my God.
I loved the pants. I loved the shirt. Together, I'm not sure, but like I am not above admitting that I liked that outfit.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Erika Jane says, I haven't ridden a bull since my great-grandmother's funeral, and I fully fucking believed it. I didn't blink. I was like, yep, I bet she did. I bet she did.
This was amazing. This line, there were a couple full-on sitcom lines in this episode, and this was one. She goes, I haven't ridden a bull since my great-grandmother's funeral. Such a good time.
Dude.
Her
But
great-grand at a funeral?
I know,
There
but
was a bull to
listen.
ride, and she said she had a great time. To me, that belongs in TGIF sitcom Central. from
Yes.
The 90s.
But I also, a celebration of life is how...
For sure. It's just crazy. It's just such a
I-
random,
it is.
crazy thing
It
to say.
is.
Nobody was
Yes.
talking about parents or funerals or anything. She's just like, you know, the last time I rode a bull, my great-grandmother's funeral, such a good time. It's like, a funeral's not a good time. That's not where I expect to see a bull. This is like a Mad Lib, and I love it.
So then, you know, we see the setup going on. There's a stage for a band. And I I'm going to... I wager to say that Morgan Wade played at some point. And Kyle is so immersed in her like country girl rebrand. And I just, it reeks, I think she's Gwen Stefani-ing. You know what I mean? Like Gwen always took on the personality of whoever she was dating. Like she was edgy when she was with Gavin Rosdale. And then she met Blake, and she's just like, she's always in a goddamn fringe shirt with a yoke and a snap. And like, I can't stand that. Oh, fucking Katie's doing it now. She's dating some terrible, problematic man that sings in a band, Katie from Vanderpump. I've always just really side-eyed women that change their personality. Oh, God. You know who this is the one, the most egregious offender is Kourtney fucking Kardashian. Now, I happen to think that Travis Barker is a poser. And you can quote me on that.
Not as a drummer, maybe as a human being.
But
as
a human
drummer,
being, he's cosplaying a hardcore punk rocker.
But
and
he's an incredible musician.
He is an incredible drummer. I'm not saying he's not that. I'm just saying his image is bullshit. His image is bullshit.
At least.
Fine.
Since he was a
but
kid.
Like, now Kourtney's wearing like punk rock band t-shirts. I can't remember which one it was, but I remember I walked up to Josh probably in the middle of his workday and shoved my phone in his face with a Page 6 headline and a picture of Kourtney, and I said, look at this bullshit. My body temperature rose right now. I'm so mad. I hate posers. I hate them.
Yeah.
Oh, God, do I spot it? I got it?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I mean...
Ooh. I don't consider myself a poser. But, like, if I'm having such a strong reaction, it's either that, oh, you know what it is? It's the same thing with Heather Dubrow. They think I'm stupid.
Mm.
They think I don't see that she's contrived, that Kourtney Kardashian is now she's, got the t-shirt and the leather jackets and the studs. And I'm like, bitch, come on.
Yeah.
Don't play me. And I'm not saying people's styles can evolve, but it was like, come on. Gwen, the fringe and the snaps and the accent, when you hear her on a talk show now,
Who?
got a little bit of a twang.
Oh my
I mean, I guess
God.
she just spent a lot of time in Oklahoma on the ranch she shares with Blake, but whoo!
Yeah.
I got to open my booth door.
Oh my God.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I got to get it together, man. This is not this is not my reaction is not commensurate to what these strangers are doing. Who gives a shit?
It's not that. It's like, well, and that's what I'm thinking about in my head right now is like, you say, who gives a shit? And it's like, I know for sure they don't. And so that's why I wonder why I put myself through this. Like, I give so many shits about some things that do not matter.
Yes.
And that the people that I'm furious about would not give a shit if I had anything to say about it. So I was just thinking, I was just mulling over my head. I'm like, what is that? Why do I need to be heard or witnessed or right or whatever? Like, why is that so important to me? I don't know. I don't have an
because
answer.
we weren't heard or witnessed or taken seriously in our most formative years.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I know that's like one of the way that my ACOA still lives in me is when I don't feel seen and heard. That's probably like the biggest way that it manifests. It's not necessarily like that for, other family members, but like for me, that's the big one.
Yeah. I mean, and it makes me think of, the ACA or Al-Anon or whatever, every 12-step program, live and let live, and how the focus I'm learning needs to be on the first half of that. Because like, I just cannot let other people live. And what that limits me from doing is living,
Yeah,
And
you're right. You're
because I
absolutely right.
get so obsessed with how unfair or how wrong something is, and I fixate and ruminate, and I waste my own fucking life.
That's a hallmark of ADHD in women, FYI.
Oh,
It is the strong need, requirement, demand for justice where injustice is rampant.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember where I learned that, but there's a reason. It's
Interesting.
It's a hallmark. So
Speaking of
anyway,
ruminating on assholes, Camille arrives.
Well, not before, so Kyle's not wearing a lick of denim. Probably diamonds, but she's not wearing no denim.
I don't know what
She
she was
didn't
wearing.
follow
I
the
just
old
wrote
rules of her
Kyle's
party.
outfit is atrocious. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was fringe and it was all black.
It was leather.
Backless.
It was a leather. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, she looked fantastic in it. I'm not going to lie. Like she
But
looked
how
fantastic.
she walked
But
in it, I didn't like it. Like you
Kyle's
said,
always had that walk.
yes, but like you said, she's a poser cowgirl. She's an AI
100.
cowgirl.
Yes.
She it's not. It's not authentic to who she is. Like Jennifer Tilly wears the wildest shit and it all makes sense on her.
Yep.
Every piece of wacky jewelry and patterned clothing doesn't look like you would say, it doesn't look like it's wearing her. She is absolutely inhabiting all of her clothing.
Yes.
And Kyle comes out in this outfit for her party. It's her party outfit. And I was just like, oh, I don't get it.
Oh my God, 100%.
Anyways.
100%. I co-sign, Margaret. I co-sign. So yes, Camille shows up in a dress so ugly. I don't understand. It was, but you know what? Camille, you're wearing the dress you deserve to wear. She's wearing the dress she deserves. She's a putrid human being.
And the shoe, what was that shoe?
I didn't even notice because
it was nuts.
I see her and I'm immediately enraged because I do not suffer any fucking fools who stan Brett Kavanaugh. She isn't even right 2 times a day. She's not even a broken clock.
She didn't get right once this episode. She just, every time she talked, she dug herself the deepest hole. And I found it, again, comical, but just bizarre. Like a very strange appearance by Camille.
I'd rather hang out with Heather Dubrow. Maybe not Lydia from OC, but I'd rather hang out with Heather Dubrow than Camille. Camille's, she's putrid. There's no other.
Ridiculous.
She's A horrendous human being. This was gnarly. Kyle tells Camille a little bit about Mauricio. He's living in a bachelor pad, and Camille says it's a party for them, midlife crisis, it's fun, young girls. She's projecting, for sure.
Says Kyle.
Says Kyle, and I thought so too. She's trying, this is a misery loves company in full effect. She was humiliated by Kelsey in the press for years when he left her for, was she I don't know what she was. I couldn't remember if maybe he met her because she worked for him or whatever, but his current wife, Camille was humiliated in the press, and she probably finds safety or oh, phew, I'm not the only one that's been humiliated in the press. Kyle's getting humiliated by Mauricio too.
But that's true.
I agree.
And that's where I'm saying Kyle is wrong to be she's projecting.
I agree.
It's but we saw the pictures of Mauricio skiing nude with 2 women, and we saw him holding hands. What do you...
I agree.
You're not different, Kyle.
I know.
Your divorce has not started yet, so you don't get to say how your divorce is going to go. I hope she's right. I hope it's the most amicable divorce we've ever seen, but it hasn't started. So you don't get to say that we're doing it differently. You're not doing it yet. So
I agree.
We'll
I agree.
See.
I mean, I surejan.gif went GIF. Sorry, God, I'll get it right one day. When Kyle just, was just that moment of I'm not like this. We all have eyes, lady.
And she's the one who has said it in her confessional. She's like, now, has he done some things that I've seen in the media that I don't like? It's well, then you're confirming what Camille just said, because those are the things that were caught on film. There's other stuff. You know what I mean? He does have a bachelor pad with no photographs of you in it. It's his own. Yeah, but that, I don't know why Kyle's trying to sell this story of
I don't either.
He's being respectful. It's he's being separated. And again, Kyle, you started it. You started dating a 20-something.
You did a video
boo-hoo.
In a contrived ass harness, ma'am. You are not fulsome street fair material.
Oh.
No one came to hear me rant about this bullshit. I apologize. Not perfect yet. Just kidding.
I hope they came to hear us rant about this bullshit, because that's all I got. I don't have anything other than ranting from here on out.
I don't get to gatekeep harnesses, for Christ's sake. It's just that she's a fool. And she's contrived, and she thinks we're stupid. She thinks we're going to buy her in a high pony and a quasi-bondage look. And I'm not buying it. I see right through you, Kyle. Who cares?
All I know is that Sutton brought her daughter to this event, which makes her behavior at the end of this party even more egregious, except that then I reminded myself, this is her daughter. So Porter, like me at that age, thinks this is normal. To have a mom who goes to the bar and says, keep going, keep going, keep going, as the bartender pours and hesitates and pours and hesitates and pours and hesitates. And the cameraman stays trained on the glass as it fills with vodka, a huge, pint-sized glass.
It was a massive glass.
And let's remember that Sutton is the size of she's a tiny, petite person. So the bartender was right to hesitate, but she said, keep going, keep going. Anyways. And then her poor daughter has a drink at one point and almost passes away because of the fumes of the tequila.
Yes, she did.
She's not, she reminds us how strong alcohol is and how insanely, apparently addicted her mother is to be that deep in it. Anyways, I felt sad when Porter got out of the car. I was just I've been to the party with the alcoholic parent before. I notice we don't see her for the rest of the event. So I know what that's like too, to go hide and disappear and not be close to it until someone calls you and said, can you get this person out of here? Because they're making a scene. And then you do your duty and you get your drunk parent home, and it's fucking gross and lame.
Oh, I'm full of dread.
Ugh.
I don't want that. I don't want that for Porter.
I don't either. Don't bring her.
God.
Especially if you know you're going to have a,
I know.
Have a sisterhood fucking recap.
Big old mug of vodka.
Stupid.
Erika, Jenn, and Dorit show up, and Dorit wants a break from reality via this party. And yes, Beau's Cher, she just got back from Brazil after a successful pitch from her daughter, Liel. She comes up with, she learned from her mama
It's adorable.
I thought it was adorable.
Bose takes her daughter on a destination vacation every year for her birthday. But in order to accomplish that, her daughter has to make a presentation, defend her position as to why this is the place to go this year. And then Bose says, I always accept the proposal and pay for the trip. But she showed, it looked like some sort of social media video that she'd captioned saying, like, these are negotiation tactics. This is an intimidation tactic. Because Bose is like literally hardball questioning her of like, move it along, next slide. Why is that? And this kid, she's a kid. She's like, 14 or under, pitching like, I think I should go to every country by the time I'm 16. And that's why, next slide. Like, it's really ruthless, but I loved it.
Life skills.
I loved it.
Yes, same here. I thought it was adorable. Again, Dorit angered me when she tells Bose, my outfit's from my vintage collection. The audacity. Yes. And then I had the same note, like the editors keeping in the scene of Sutton getting the hugest pour of vodka that we've ever seen in the history of Bravo as a channel. The fact that they kept that in, man.
I mean, Woo! Again, like I said, someone on that crew is a child of an alcoholic. Because they are going through these seasons the way that we are experiencing them. Then we have Sutton tells Bose she's going to go watch Garcelle get a tattoo, and Garcelle's getting angel numbers 1111. And this is where Garcelle tells Sutton that Kyle told Garcelle that PK texts her. And Sutton, now buzzed enough, is unfazed and is like, well, Dorit knows, and they haven't talked in forever. And God bless Garcelle for being like, well, I would not be okay with it. And Sutton's like, well, maybe she feels closer to PK, which I thought was a really weird justification. Ugh. And then Garcelle goes, I know Kyle thinks PK is so funny, but once the dynamic shifted with Dorit, that should stop. And I was like, yes. Gross. That is clear and correct. And then it made Kyle's justification of talking with PK on Watch What Happens Live, like even more just kind of slimy and like,
I'm telling you,
trying to have your cake and eat it too in every direction, and it's weird. I don't like it.
She's a better actor than we all gave her credit for. This is an act. Yucky. She is an actor, and she is playing us like a fiddle. I don't believe or trust this woman at all. Not one little bit. Give me a reason to trust you, Kyle, because right now I don't. Who gives a shit? She doesn't care. Bose asked Dorit how she feels being at the party regarding seeing Sutton after Sprinter Van Gate. And Bose wonders, should we have a tribal council to discuss it? And Dorit and Erika Jane are on board with that. Okay.
So the group is gathered and Sutton initiates yet another sisterhood speech. And then I just wrote these down. So last episode, it was expanded, the argument with an alcoholic. And in this episode, these are the steps I noted. It starts sincere, then Sutton's immediately defensive, then she victimizes herself, then condescends to Dorit, then turns everything on Dorit, then is dismissive of Dorit, and then is arrogant and minimizing. And I mean, this is just like, that is how many phases we get through in a 5-minute segment. It's amazing.
Textbook.
So
Set
she
your
starts,
clock to it.
Yes. Starts sincere by saying, I really meant what I said about sisterhood and honesty. I want everyone to feel free to be open and honest with each other. And then Erika calls Sutton out for being volatile. And I love Jennifer Tilly for being like, well, it is a good description of Sutton. And I was okay.
I did too. And that's what a true friend does. Yeah. Is they can say like, listen, I love you.
Objectively, this is true.
Objectively, this is true. Yes. Yes.
And then Sutton is immediately defensive and goes, no, I'm truthful. So she started in that tone of like, I just want everyone to be, no, I'm truthful. Like, it's so dramatic and insane that immediately I was on high alert of like, oh God, here we go. She's not sober and we're about to get a whole.
Her eyes were real bloodshot.
Yeah. And she was not like, planted in time and space.
Right. Right.
And then Dorit challenges her and said, you do tend to overreact, Sutton, when you're stressed. And Sutton goes, wait a minute. And I was like, you literally did exactly what she just said. You walked right into it, you idiot. And Dorit politely implores Sutton not to raise her voice. And Sutton She says, I'm not in a place to appreciate that. And then Sutton victimizes herself. You know how many times I have not been in a place to appreciate. I'm just like, oh, my alcoholism. Okay. And then she condescends and goes, you know what? I'll talk in a very hushed voice.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So we just go from one
Oh my
tactic to the next.
God. Oh my God.
And then Dorit asks her, like, just speak to me normally. You don't have to do that whole act. And Sutton turns it on her and is like, Dorit, sometimes you don't listen. So now it's Dorit's fault. And you should be ashamed of yourself, you idiot. And everyone else is like, but Dorit never listens. That's been her identity for the last 10 years. So get over it. And in that moment, I wrote, oh, Erika's in acceptance of who Dorit is.
I know. I grokked that too.
That was
I did.
progress. And that is a therapy, like a hallmark of
I
therapy.
agree.
Of
I agree.
not needing someone else to change so that your life can progress how you want it to. And then Kyle asks Sutton to clarify her point. What is it you want? And Sutton just says, I want everyone to be honest. And then Dorit goes, well, then lead by example. And then again, the alcoholic challenge is like, I'm trying to, like really holding it back. And Dorit says, no, you're not. And she says, cycles back into full condescension. I will speak to you in hushed tones. And Dorit is like, that is not kind and that is not real. And Sutton then is dismissive. Well, this is as real as it gets. So it's just like all of it's so fascinating to me. And then Dorit imitates Sutton's hushed tones, and that's it for Sutton. She snaps and says some really cruel shit. You're angry, and you're not angry at me. You're angry at your life. So now it's turning it on Dorit. You're a loser. I'm above you. Go deal with your own shit. It's not my fault you're at where you are in your life.
Dude.
So fucking rude.
Dude.
And bless Dorit for calling it like it is. Meet Sutton Strack, the woman who loves to support other women at their lowest. And I was like, yeah, she's really exposing herself all over the place, this idiot.
Wow. I mean, the reactions that their castmates had, like Garcelle's all, whoa. And Kyle's saying, Lobo, by the way, I agree, which I did too. I agree. It was harsh. And I'm not sure how or if she should have even said that to Dorit, regardless of how she said it.
Not now.
But,
Dorit is
yes,
1 minute
exactly.
into the separation. She's not okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck
I agree.
you, Sutton. Like, you only do that to hurt someone and shut them up. Sutton knows what she's doing. She's not an idiot. Most alcoholics aren't. They're all, they're quite smart.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sutton said, it's not my fault that you're in the position you're in. And Dorit calls it exactly right. She's like, you've been waiting to say that, haven't you? That's what you really wanted to say. All this open and honest, transparent bullshit. What you really wanted to do is shame me and crush me and make me small. Congratulations. And Dorit's like, you're not wrong. It's not your fault I'm in the position I'm in. And then Sutton goes, I know I'm not wrong. I'm rarely wrong. And I was like, what are you fucking doing?
The arrogance of an alcoholic.
100%.
Yeah.
Any chance
Yeah.
she can get. And Dorit lays it out. I'm being honest and open and truthful and transparent. My life sucks right now. And I am not in a good place. I have zero tolerance for more bullshit. It's as simple as that. How's that for transparent, open, and honest? And Sutton shrugs. So here Dorit has just followed all of Sutton's rules. She was open, honest, and transparent, as Sutton has been preaching for days now. She did everything right, and Sutton shrugs and minimizes it and says, I'm not angry with you. I raised my voice in the sprinter because you're stupid, is the subtext, because I feel like you were not listening and understanding the bigger point. Stupid. You're stupid. And Dorit says, I understood perfectly your bigger point. And Bose chimes in to say, we can't weaponize vulnerabilities. Like, that's not how friendships will thrive. And Sutton can't conceive, nor will she admit that she just did that by saying, you're not mad at me, you're mad at your life.
Dude. I would be remiss if I didn't just Erika. She wasn't even like broken clocking. She was going above and beyond being a broken clock in this scene, leaning over, telling Dorit, don't go there. I understand that knee-jerk reaction to want to react to Sutton, like to meet her passive aggressiveness with your own passive aggressiveness. Don't do it, honey. She was a real friend in this moment. And I think she really, again, The seasons are so close in her rearview mirror where she was a monster on the show. And she's actively trying to help her friend avoid what she did. And you're right. It's probably because of the work she's doing in therapy. So,
And I think
yeah.
Dorit's work in therapy is showing too, because she didn't take it too far. She mocked Sutton's hushed tones, only to then say, like, that's not sincere, and your whole
Mm-hmm.
rule book is like, let's be honest and sincere. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing right now is patronizing bullshit. So
The other thing that Erika said that like stuck me in the heart was when she tells Sutton, have you thought about what it is you say that gets people to yell?
mhm.
And I felt it in my guts. Like, and I've told people this, like, if I yell, it's because I don't feel like you're hearing me, especially after not feeling heard about the same issue I've talked to you about multiple times. Again, this show is a mirror. This show is about what it's like to navigate life when you're using coping skills that they feel like they're working in the moment. Like it's just like you have no control over that anger that comes up. You have nothing, but underneath it, it's never that. It's always what's underneath.
Well, and Erika asking that question indicates to me that therapy is penetrating
Mm-hmm.
because clearly that's a question she's been asked and had to consider.
Oh,
Can
very
you
good
understand
point.
why people might look at you like a pariah or might be disappointed in your behavior with the earrings? Or, like clearly she's had to field that question, and clearly she let it impact her enough to, in a moment where it made sense to bring it to someone else's attention, she did that. I agree. That was
God
pretty
damn.
profound.
So I really thought that Erica shone. Is that it? She
Like
like the past tense of
shined.
shine. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Ramona.
No, I think that's
Erica
right. Shown.
shined.
No,
Erica
no.
shined in
I don't
this
know. I
in
think they're both
this.
right.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm mortified. I'm mortified. I'm straight mort if I got that wrong.
Mom.
Oh my God. You're right. Oh my
No.
God. You're right. You're right.
I think shown is a word.
And then Camille jumps in and says to Dorit,
Inexplicably, this idiot. Shut
no,
up.
it's not inexplicable. Camille is a willing participant in the takedown of Dorit at the hands of Kyle because Camille's had this resentment at Dorit for years now. She needs a fall guy. And Camille's like, fuck yeah, man. Give it to me. I'll do it. I'm convinced of it. So she's like, I'm sorry, but I lost my house in a fire. My assistant of many years passed away, and I didn't get a lot of compassion or empathy from some of you, including you, Dorit. And Dorit says, well, yeah, you were a total cunt to me. And the cast freaks out. They freak out. Cuntgate. You called me one. No, I called you a stupid cunt.
This was amazing.
Dorit
Camille
has
goes,
no regrets at all.
well, and Dorit dismantled this so beautifully.
I
She's
agree.
like, she said, you were a total cunt to me. And Camille says, you called me a fucking cunt. And Dorit says, no, I called you a stupid cunt. And I was like, oh my God.
Yep, get that quote right.
And then Dorit in her confessional goes, I was wrong. Camille is in fact a stupid fucking cunt. She's all of the above. And I was like, oh my God.
She doubled down.
I love it.
Yes.
And Camille then
yes.
claims that she didn't know that was a joke, which is just bullshit.
It's such bullshit. We were there. We saw.
And
we
also
were there,
talk
but
about
we
a
saw it.
bad actor. Like Camille cannot sell this for shit. And then she weirdly brings up Dorit being late to events because she does photo shoots. And Dorit just goes, and?
Yeah.
And she goes, where have you been, Camille? Why are you here? Do you need a moment? Essentially saying to the camera operators, like, go ahead, frame her up, give her moment. And then Camille just absolutely chokes. And I loved it.
And I wrote, this is an example of you spot it, you got it. This is an example of you spot it, you got it. This is Camille spotting it. I think she thought she and Kyle were like rubbing their hands like, yeah, this is going to go great. And it just fucking backfired because
she couldn't remember Erika's name. She's like, you've been condescending to me ever since you showed up at my door with her. And then there's like a whole lot of silence. And Erika goes, my name is Erika. And then they cut to Erika in a confessional and she just says, cunt. And I was
Oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
God.
I know.
The way this was edited and
It
scripted, it's so good.
and nominated for an Emmy. You're right.
100%.
Camille says, "You're a different person now, Dorit. I don't know what happened to you, but you've changed," which is exactly what Kyle has now said at least 2 or 3 times this season. And the editors pan to the side of the couch where you can see Kyle, Erika, Dorit, and Bose. And Kyle's expression on her face when Camille is saying this is dramatically different than Erika, Bose, and Dorit's face, because she's watching the plan that she and Camille hatched up. She's watching it go out. That was the line that Kyle couldn't wait for Camille to drop. That you've changed.
But again, Dorit completely dismantles it by saying,
know,
like, I haven't
know.
kept up with you. What do you mean I've changed? I haven't seen you in years. And then Erika reminds Camille what Dorit is currently just starting to go through, which is a separation, which will lead to a very painful, probably, divorce. And Camille then weirdly suddenly changes her too, going, I went through a lot too. I went through a lot too. Helen back. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
When she said Helen back, I wanted to just crush the TV with a fucking baseball bat.
And again, it's like,
audacity.
it is such old news. Like, I do feel for you that you lost your home and that your assistant that you cared about died. But like, not to be rude, but that was 100 years ago. What are you doing here? Why are you talking about this? And what are you wearing?
Oh my God. I know. Her outfit was as egregious as what was the bullshit coming out of her mouth. Fucking Brett Kavanaugh apologist. Disgusting.
And then Sutton, alcoholic central again, tries to soften and tell Dorit, look, I'll always be there for you if you ever need me. And Dorit says, I wish I could believe that, but actions speak louder than words. And Sutton is immediately, without any patience, completely bitchy and condescending and goes, your actions too, honey. And I was like, oh, so she literally went from saying like, listen, Dorit, I will be there for you. Your actions too, honey.
It was so
I was
gross.
like, you are... Talk about, I mean, Erika and Jennifer Tilly said it. She is unstable, inconsistent, and volatile. And here it is on full display. Line after line, she's a different person. It's terrifying to me.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God.
And I still don't know what she wants. I don't know what her point is. What is this sisterhood that demand that you have of these people? It is, after all this time, it's still unclear. And that's weird.
Yeah, I agree. So Sutton says that she'll always be there for Dorit if you ever need me. And Bose looks skeptical, as we all did when we were watching this. And Dorit says she wants to believe it, but actions speak louder than words. And this makes Sutton frustrated again. And Dorit is right. Actions do speak louder than words. This is where making living amends comes in. If I were Sutton, well, I guess if it was me there, and I'm not Sutton, like I'm saying that if I was talking to my friend, and my friend is wanting to have a conversation with me about something that my behavior and how it's affecting our relationship, for example, I would really do my best to like take in what they're saying to me. Like, be quiet. Not just wait for my turn to talk when they're done, but like really be open and not react and take it in, no matter how excruciating it is to hear criticism that's hopefully constructive if it's coming from someone that you love.
But Sutton is like 40% alcohol at this point,
Yeah,
So it's just like, it's not even worth like trying to rationalize. She's just so not well. This was a really bad showing.
If Sutton really is going to walk the talk, which we're all dubious, obviously.
If I'm Dorit, I do not trust her.
I don't either.
I appreciate the offer, but you can keep it because you're scary. From one sentence to the next, you're coming at me with all kinds of different terrifying energy.
Agreed.
And that's nice that you threw a nice one in there, but there's so many other shaming, blaming, victimizing, patronizing, condescending. It's like a lotto ball thing. Like you never know which one's going to fall out of the slot. And it's just too risky to trust someone with that, with something as serious as a family breaking up.
I know you just finished like talking about it, but it just like I needed to add that in because it's like it was so harsh seeing her quote unquote Dorit's quote unquote friend like just it's so there's no space to communicate with someone when they're that defensive and defended, like
And
Sutton, and
mean.
drunk and
Yeah,
mean.
and drunk and mean.
Yeah,
Because again, the
yeah.
last thing Dorit says, your actions will speak louder than your words. And she goes, your actions too, honey.
It was so gross,
It's
dude.
so rude. Again, this is all under the guise of sisterhood and supporting Dorit as she faces down a separation and divorce. And never in a million years, if you were in a
God.
position like that, would I go, well, you too,
Oh
honey.
my
Like, are
God,
you fucking
never,
kidding me?
never,
It would never
never.
occur to me.
I would be
It's
like,
so outrageous.
Who gave you a lobotomy? Do you have a TBI? Like, what is going on? Like, how did this happen? Yes.
That's it's just unconscionable.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
It's just again, it's like it's not that hard to like if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Look at everyone else sitting around there.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
surely had something to say about Camille and Sutton, and they all just kept their heads down and
Wanted to get the fuck out. I mean,
Yeah,
Jennifer
100%.
Tilly's face when they pan to her, she's just like, this is so gnarly.
And
This
it
is
ends with
so
Jennifer Tilly
gnarly.
going like, well, thank you for the party, Kyle. And just after this huge explosive nightmare happened, Jennifer Tilly's just like, thank you and
Yeah.
good night. I'm going to go back to
Yeah.
one of my houses, TBD.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She's so entertaining. She's so
She
entertaining.
is.
God damn. Then Ms. Open and Honest pipes in and says, everyone needs to work on their actions and their delivery. Garcelle agrees, but it's like, Kyle, just,
Also, that what does that mean? Again, this is
She
where I
don't
was
know.
just in the fog of vague language. Everyone needs to work on their actions and delivery and not holding grudges. What the fuck is that direction?
I don't
Work on
know.
my actions? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what you want from me.
Oh
It's
my
also
God.
unclear, but like, yes, that's how we got out of this episode.
Dude, it was listen, we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in almost. And
I'm sadly not surprised. I was so
I-
furious
same,
throughout this
same.
episode. I was just like raging.
Same. It was a very Sutton heavy episode.
It
So,
was.
So yep, absolutely. And a therapy session that took place in front of our
True.
eyes. Of course, this one was
Yeah.
a big emotional reaction from the both of us. Of course.
Just loaded.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
What else did you watch?
I watched Sold on SLC. I put it on probably because I needed something to help me complete a chore. And I don't know if I can hang with that show.
Mm-hmm.
The men have the same face, the same body, the same fakakta tight button-up short sleeve shirts, that same quasi-Nazi haircut, and the same tight-ass pants. And everyone is really walking that perfectionism line that seems to go hand in hand with Mormonism. And I can't fucking hang. Not even as like entertainment. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe I just need to watch one episode at a time instead of trying to binge it. Because after a while, I think I turned it off. Like, I think I turned off like the second episode before it was done. I was like, my soul can't right now with this. This is not good for me to watch. And Lisa Barlow is also sus AF.
Yeah.
She is
I don't
so
like
fucking
that
sus.
she's the liaison from
Nope.
We don't need I don't want her there.
No, there's a lot of stuff came out about her on Reddit this week. Oh God, I wish I could remember what it was, but we've been talking for over 2 hours and I'm starving. And so I can't really grok it right this
No
second,
need.
but like go to the Reddit, the r/Bravo Real Housewives. And then in the search bar, just type in Lisa Barlow, sort it by new. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's worth it. If you've got some downtime between now and the new year, it's a salacious read. And I hope the Bravo docket gives us a two-parter. That'd be good. And then I watched Roni. I watched Potomac. And I started watching a show on Netflix called Dead and Gone. It's done by the same writer, Liz Feldman.
Yeah.
She did Dead to Me. And so
Yeah.
now this one's called Dead and Gone. So I think she's like continuing. It's
Murder
like
comedy
yeah,
genre?
like a Mike Hannigan kind of a trilogy or whatever that he did with The Haunting of Hill House. Highly recommend, FYI. Fucking great series on Netflix as well. But yeah, it's really good. Lisa Kudrow's a fantastic actor.
The
rest
cast
of
is great. I haven't
cast
watched it
is
yet.
so
but like Luke
good.
Wilson, like everyone in that
It's
cast. I'm
so
like, oh my
good.
God.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal cast. Linda Cardellini also makes another appearance. She's excellent in this role, just as she was in Dead to Me. So that's good. But yeah, Roni's great to like when I want to scroll my phone, but also want to watch some Bravo. Potomac is just Karen being and just unchecked ego, unchecked arrogance. But I like Potomac. I do like the season of Potomac. I do. So how about you, friend? What else did you watch?
I watched Southern Charm, which is there's a really interesting new character this season who is not she's sort of in that social circle, but she's not committed to all the pretense of it. So she's adding a really interesting element. I think her name is Molly or something. She's a former model who has some sort of illness that's caused her, the medication has caused her to gain weight. And she's like super relaxed about it, but like aware of it. Like it's really interesting. It's just interesting. And then, of course, in this most recent episode, one of these assholes commented, she ate a cupcake and he's like, that's the last thing you need,
Jesus
you know?
Christ.
But she handled it really well. And like, I don't know, it was just really, it's interesting. It's interesting. And then I will say the thing that stuck with me the most is I don't know why I was resisting it, but I watched Jamie Foxx's special on Netflix, What Had Happened Was, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just a real meditation on life and death. And this is a man who's so clear on how he got a second chance, and he's so honest. And it's a celebration of his talents and of his daughters. And it's just so pure, I guess would be the word. And I really, really liked it. I thought it's really funny because he's really funny, but it's also like deeply sincere. He doesn't shy away from weeping or
Oh, I love it.
it's amazing. And he talks so honestly about he had a brain bleed and a stroke, and he woke up from it and was asked to do rehab, and he was like, no. He's like, I'm Jamie fucking Foxx. This is not me. This is not my life. I'm not doing this shit. And the humility that it took, and I'm sure everyone who wakes up in an altered state is like, no, I want to go back to what I fucking was. Like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And he talked about, who and how he was helped through that and whatever. It's really, really well done. It was really interesting. So that's the thing that stuck with me most that I watched this week. What was your antidepressant?
Well, my antidepressant was, and I have to say, like, I feel like I talk about ketamine so much and I'm starting to get really self-conscious about it, but it's the truth. I was in a self-induced, and again, I want to just say, like, I try as I might. I try so hard. Like, my plan every Christmas is to not give in to the bullshit and these timelines and this perfectionism and the decorations having to be perfect. Like, I swear to myself every year, I think I hit my bottom. I was miserable, making my family miserable. Like Josh said 2 times, I fucking hate this time of year.
Mm.
Like the Christmas tree that we got. Talk about a luxury problem, man. I'm not going down the Camille Grammer route. Okay, whatever her last name is now. Like, I refuse. I'm just acknowledging it wasn't about the tree. Like, I was out of town during peak Christmas tree procuring weekend. And so the selection I had was not what I wanted. I don't like full trees. I like sparse trees, but it has to be a certain kind of sparse. I had so much built up in my head, though, like the visions. It wasn't going to be what I wanted. And then trying to put lights on a really full tree was like stressing me the fuck out. And it got to the point on Tuesday where I sent an SOS email to my psychiatrist. I'm like, I'm fucking losing it, man. Like, I don't know what to do. We're not supposed to talk until the end of this month, but I don't think I can make it that long. Like, I'm going to cause damage. I'm going to go too far, like my anxiety and my lack of executive function, and like nobody gives a shit if I'm perfect. I've got this belief in my mind that if the decorations aren't up, I'm going to disappoint my inner child. Like, what in the fuck? And so she determined that we needed to up my antidepressant, check, add something to help with my anxiety, check, And she's like, you are severely undertreated for your ADHD. My whole thing is that, like, I want to sleep at night. And sometimes if my ADHD meds are too high, I can't. Or like I can't eat all day and I need to eat. So like part of why I'm like spinning out might just be low blood sugar, you know? So we did some tweaks and I'm paying attention to them. That was one antidepressant. The biggest one was that I did ketamine last night, intramuscular, meaning I got injections. And I did it in a circle with 5 other women. And again, you and I have talked about the power of 2 or more people gathering to talk about a shared experience. So while I didn't feel like that immediate heart-to-heart connection with the other people in this room, it was a very profound and powerful experience. And it was exactly what I needed to right-size the last week before we go into Christmas. And so I woke up today. I had a great night's sleep last night. I woke up today with like a plan for how I can make it through. And I was able to right size my perspective on what's going on. I'm such a perfectionist and I was about to say I'm such a failure at it, but like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I try to do things and when I can't, I'm just so fucking mean to myself. It's insanity. It's truly insane. And when I was getting ready to come downstairs and set up for us to record, I was like, where did that voice come from? Like, where did it come from? I don't know. Like, obviously it comes from somewhere in my childhood. I don't remember. I don't know. I just like, I'm not as fastidious as my mother and my sister, so I compare myself to them. My dad had expectations of me that were, again, completely unknown and changed, and I didn't know what to do. And it's just like, I can't accept how I am, and it makes me miserable. I want to change. I don't want to be who I am. I want to be someone that decorates the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I don't know why that means I'm going to be a better person than who I am. My psychiatrist reminded me, she's like, this is what you do this time of year. So I had therapy today so I could integrate my IM session last night, my ketamine session last night. We came up with some strategies of how I can get through the next week, and it feels doable now. And I acknowledge that I talk about this medicine a lot, but it's bigger. It's bigger than the voices I have in my head that tell me I need to be a certain way. And it helps me put into practice the things that my psychiatrist and my therapist suggest I should do in order to not suffer. So that was my antidepressant. A literal and figurative antidepressant.
Several.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
sounds like
several.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a team of people to support you.
Really so loving and
Yeah.
so compassionate and just so there with me. I'm so grateful because I did not want to, I don't want to ruin it, man. I love the decorations. I love the cartoons. I love the food. Like, I love the sparkle. I love the wonderment that my child is still young enough to have. Like, I don't want to fuck that up. I don't want to make my husband miserable. I don't want to make my kid miserable and grow up thinking Christmas has to be a certain way or it has to be a time of year to dread.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Well, and you don't want to make yourself miserable.
No,
And
I
that's
don't want to
where
make
that
myself miserable.
but it's a habit. It's like I'm so, we're responsible for our second thought and our first action. It's like you're never not going to be like, and Christmas needs to be perfect. Like that groove is so deep. It may never heal, but this awareness you have now to like make a different choice, hear that voice, observe it from like a meditation point of view and be like, aha, there's that voice. So now my second thought can be whatever,
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like Jada Pinkett, that part, pointing her finger,
Uh-huh.
GIF. Yeah, and I already thought of like some ideas of how I can mitigate the stress next year. Like instead of packing up the boxes where all the the related items go in one box. Like, pack all the mantle shit in a mantle box. Pack all the kitchen shit in the kitchen box. So then next year when you set up, it'll be a little bit easier. Part of the other thing I do is that, like, I hear myself freaking out about shit that I know on paper is complete bullshit. So I beat myself up over that too. And it's just this never-ending cycle.
Well, and that's what we were talking about before with Erika. It's like the only solution is compassion. That's it.
Dude,
It's just to
you're right.
recognize,
You're right.
acknowledge, investigate,
Investigate and nurture. You're right.
nurture.
You're right. You're right. You're
Like,
right.
it's really just tending that somatic thing of like you pat your own hand and it's like, I'm sorry you're so scared right now. I'm
Yep.
sorry
Hold
you
your
feel so
heart.
bad about yourself right now. You know, it's
Yep.
like
Yep.
it feels I still think like rationally, how can that be effective? Like it makes more sense to punish myself into like getting it right. But like you said, that has not proven effective. It has not
Right.
proven to work. And I will likely still try it. It will be my first thought every time, but we do all of this work to try and just get access to a second thought and then over time faster access to the second thought. And it's not about changing it or doing it perfectly the other direction next year. It's like,
You're
let's
right.
try the mantle box, see if that
Yeah.
does anything. It might
Yeah.
not. It might still throw me into a tailspin, but like we'll try a different way.
And like what Dorit was saying to Sutton in the last scene of the show we just finished talking about, I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're saying to me. So like I can say to Josh and Leo, I'm sorry, but that's not enough. I need to make living amends so that my family can trust me and relax.
Well, and you can internalize that of like when the voice in your head is like this, you're not a person who puts up decorations after Thanksgiving. You can say to that voice, like, I don't trust you. You're fucking mean.
Dude.
And I don't know what
Margie,
you're
you're
up
gonna make me
to,
cry.
but like that's not right. You're coming way too hard about Christmas decorations, okay? Like, because I hear you doing the thing of like, I want to make it okay for everyone else. And I'm trying to Dr. Jenn your ass to like, God, I want you to have like a space of luxury and a sanctuary within your own head.
I do too.
You know? And I feel like that's sort of a potential angle is like when you hear that perfectionist voice just being like, I don't trust you. You're Sutton. You're volatile and you might have a point, but I can't trust anything that you say because you're crazy. And you're gonna keep me engaged because you're so all over the place. That's how alcoholics get me, and that's who raised me, or at least was under the roof for long enough to make an impact. And so of course my brain is like mimicking some of that weird behavior, but it's not true. It's not helpful. Yeah.
It just makes me sad.
I think so much of therapy and a lot of why people don't stick with it is like there's lots of pockets of grief in therapy of like,
that's what it is, Margie. I want to create the home that I didn't get at Christmas. Like it
Yes.
was my mother, my Jewish mother, God bless, like she could decorate a Christmas tree like no other, man. And that's where I got it. Like she just made our living room magical. And it felt like it was bright in my house. Because again, Washington State's very dark, especially in the wintertime. Like it gets dark at 3 and it doesn't get light until like 8 in the morning. And so like at least we had the tree that was beautiful. Now my dad fucking ruined every goddamn Christmas. Like every Christmas, regardless of where we were. If we were at my grandma's in LA or if we were in Bellingham, like it was still a fucking nightmare. And so it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to reclaim Christmas and I'm going to make it so nice. And it's like I'm continuing the chaos, but it just looks different. But I'm carrying on the like unhealthy, toxic tradition of, I don't know, like making myself like suffer. It's not.
As a mentor of mine has said, until now, you've carried on the chaos of whatever, or brought that energy. Like
Yeah.
I'm certain it's not the same kind of chaos. I know you,
It's
so
not.
you're
It's
just not
but
capable of that.
No, it's not.
But
It's not. But
And it's just, until now. And
yeah,
now there's more awareness, there's an
yeah,
opportunity to make different choices and to still be readily compassionate if those don't go perfect either, because there
yeah.
is no such thing as perfect. Like you said earlier, I fail at being perfect because, in my opinion, that's the definition of perfectionism.
Oh my God, you're
It is
right.
a synonym to failure.
Yeah,
Anytime I try to achieve perfection, I fail because it's not available. It doesn't exist in the human experience.
oh
It
God,
simply
you're
does not.
right. You're right. It's just in magazines or
Yeah.
a table at Anthropology that someone went to school to learn how to merchandise. Like, that's their job. It's their literal job.
And
Like, they know.
the food in magazines, it's styled with
I know.
hairspray and,
And
it's
shaving
bullshit. You
cream. And
can't eat it.
I
Like
know, I know. You're
it's
right.
all, and so anything that isn't perfect, because you don't want to eat that apple pie because it's covered in things that will kill you so that
Yeah,
it looks nice in a picture.
you're right.
But we're saturated with it, so it's normal to like succumb to it. And especially at this time of year when everything from my perspective at this time of year, I seem to be really susceptible to images of family and, you
Yeah,
know, cozy homes that'll never be, just like all of
yeah.
this like weird. And I know it's not true. And I know like, but it's just, yeah, we're all, the market is saturated with it at this time of year. We're bombarded with it. And
Capitalism's so harsh, man.
it really is.
It's
And I
so
think it's like
cruel.
after I was like, I managed it okay, but now I'm so deep into being alive that I'm exhausted by it. Like
Yeah,
in my 20s, I was susceptible to it. In my 30s, I learned about it and came to understand why that's not good for me. And now I'm just like tired. I'm
yeah,
like, again, I have to like talk myself
yeah,
out of not needing that sweater.
yeah. I get
I
it,
need
man.
that sweater.
I get it.
The
I
only way
get
to
it.
look nice is in a thin cashmere sweater.
Oh my God. I get it. I get it.
It's crazy.
So yes, net prescriptions you can find in a pharmacy were my antidepressant, and then like the ketamine that I had shot in my arm last night. Just really fucking like God bless whoever found that chemical compound. Margie, what was your antidepressant this week?
My antidepressant was last weekend. My friend took me to see the Nutcracker, Beth, who was on this podcast, and I went with
Mm-hmm.
with Beth, my great friend, and my goddaughter, who I'm obsessed with. And it was the best day. The show was in Orange County, so we basically spent almost 9 hours together from pickup to drop off. We took the car down there and had a blast in the car, and then we had this like sort of impromptu, unplanned, quick dinner before the show. And then the Nutcracker production was absolutely beautiful. It was American Ballet Theater. Oh, that's where Sutton's on the board. Why she couldn't be seen at Magic
Oh.
Mike, please. And the
All roads lead to
couple,
Bravo, Margie.
they
All
really do. It's
roads lead to
crazy.
Bravo.
Yep, the road to Orange County led right back up to Beverly Hills.
Hilarious. I love it. I love it so
And
much.
the people dancing the Sugar Plum Fairy and the Prince, they're like best friends in real life. One of them had
Oh,
sustained a horrible injury on that stage just a couple years ago, and he was back like reclaiming the stage. Was there? I mean, they're two of like the most epic dancers of our era. Like they're incredible. And they do this, it's like this 12-minute impossible, technically impossible dance duet that they do. And then they pull off to the side of the stage. And I was watching them, and he put his arm around her, and they were like talking to each other, supporting each other, like two best friends who just completed this incredible dance on stage. He's overcome the physical, and I can't even imagine the mental component of having blown out your knee doing this very dance on this very stage. And here he is back, and it was a huge success. Like people are incredible, as they're incredible artists, they're incredible friends, they're just like human beings are like amazing. It was just amazing. And my friend Beth and her daughter are just like, I'm still high. Like this was Saturday, and I'm still high from just getting to be so close to them for so many hours in a row,
I love
doing
that.
something that we were all so excited about and so invested in. And it was just like it was a wonderful day. That was magic. That was absolute magic.
I love it. I love this so much. I am so happy
Yeah.
for you guys. That's so wonderful.
And I
Oh,
think I
that's
talked
what Christmas is about.
exactly. Like I'd mentioned last week how I'm trying to like reframe the holidays a little bit as like parents change and travel options change and
Yeah.
these things are adjusting. But like that was Christmas. Like what normally I would, like you were saying, I would assign to Christmas Day. These are the feelings I need to have on Christmas Day because that's for that feelings. I had those feelings on the 14th of December. So if they do not return this Christmas season, I had them all for 9 hours in a row. How fucking blessed am I, you know? So I need to be cautious on Christmas Day of looking for things to go well and be happy and feel family and like I'll make myself crazy by like trying to wrench some kind of experience out of a day that like really doesn't matter that much. So
You're
anyways,
modern day goddamn Charles Dickens. A Bravo-loving Charles Dickens, man. You're sage
sure.
AF.
I don't know. I
You're
just know I
Vincent
had a
Van Going
wonderful
me right
day.
now.
I am fucking wheat. I'm wheat.
Yes.
And wheat can exist as much on the 14th as it does on the 25th,
Oh my
you
God,
know?
Margie, you're blowing my
So
mind. I fucking love you so much.
I love you too. But I feel lucky to have had, like, to have felt that much, like, love and presence and joy in one day. And so there, like you said, capitalism is so harsh. It'll make you think if I don't achieve that same level on the 25th, then something went wrong this year. And that's just simply not so. So, you know, I'm I'm lucky and I'm grateful. And I had the best time at the Nutcracker with Beth and Gracie. It was
Oh,
fucking
God, I can
phenomenal.
see it. I can
I
see it.
know.
And I
I'm
love
like,
it. It's palpable. I
yeah,
love it. I
made
love
me
that
so
so
happy.
much.
Me too.
Oh my God, everyone.
We're 30 hours in.
I mean, this has been like a marathon. Thankful, obviously, this is going to be a two-parter.
Yeah.
So, and I don't assume they're going to be showing a new episode next Tuesday because next Tuesday is Christmas Eve. So you get a two-part A Therapeutic Dose episode. So you can have a little chunk of us now, a little chunk of us later to catch up. If you want, we are talking about what we're going to do while the shows are on their holiday break. So keep us in your feed. You know, if you have us on automatic download, then you'll know if a bonus or ancillary, that's a good therapy / prescription term, an ancillary episode goes up. Put us on while you're wrapping your gifts or driving to someone's house and you're in traffic, whatever. Do what you want with the podcast. I'm not the boss of you. I'm just telling you what
We
I
do
do.
say see you next Tuesday, this episode, a lot. So if you have kids, maybe this
Oh,
isn't the one.
yeah. Oh. Read
Listen.
the show notes so you get in.
Yes.
Listen, we have an E. I set us
Yes,
up with an
we've earned
E.
our E,
So
and I'm
yeah,
happy with that.
my
Yeah.
mother has said, like, you guys say the F word a lot.
We
I'm like,
do, I
I'm
know.
sorry, but listen, it doesn't
But I should
feel
maybe
superfluous.
in the
I don't
new
know.
year, for a while I had a little post-it on my computer that said like watch your cussing. And I did a good job when it was there, but maybe it's ADD. If it's literally not like a cue card in my face, I forget.
Okay.
So maybe in the new year I'll recommit to just trying less cuss words.
I'm willing to do that too. I'm
Yeah.
willing to do that too. Well, everyone, if you're still listening, we hope to have another episode out for you between now and when the show picks back up. If for some reason we cannot get that out to you, I just want to wish everyone a really happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, I wish you peace and serenity, a happy new year. Make resolutions if they feel harmonious and loving to you. Don't do it if they don't.
Celebrate radical compassion, you
Oh,
guys.
yes.
Put
do
that at the
man.
center of the table. I'll give that a
Listen,
try, see what happens.
I've been listening as a coping mechanism this week. I've been listening to that Not a Surf song I talked about a few episodes back, Always Love. Sent it to 3 of my best friends yesterday. Like, find loving coping skills to get you through. Like a song that helps you get the good cry out. My God, no one needs to hear me talk anymore. Everyone, thank you for listening. We'll see you.
Happy
We'll see you later.
holidays.
Happy holidays and
Take good care of
Happy
yourselves.
New Year. Yes,
We'll
yes.
talk
Take good
soon.
care.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Ramona and Margie are
Obviously.
not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.